Skandrick is out again. Amari Cooper, the wideout for Oakland, is out. And so is the defensive end Mario Edwards Jr. So some big names dotting that list. Giorgio Tavecchio, he's been the guy all year. Sebastian Janikowski, back injury, couldn't make it on opening day, so they signed Tavecchio, and he's done a nice job this season. And he figures to be the guy for the future. And Ryan Switzer, the rookie out of North Carolina, 4th-round draft choice, who had an 83-yard punt return touchdown against Washington a couple of weeks ago. Back to receive. It is a beautiful night. It was a gorgeous weekend in the Bay Area. Temperature is 60 degrees, light breeze, and off we go from Oakland. And coming out is Switzer just for a moment. Took about a 4-yard run up to the goal line and stopped right there. Let's take a look at the Cowboy offense.
Dak Prescott, Mississippi State.
Alfred Morris, Florida Atlantic.
Darius Bryant, Oklahoma State.
Terrence Williams, Baylor.
Cole Beasley, SMU.
Jason Witten, Tennessee.
Tyrus Smith, USC.
Jonathan Cooper, North Carolina.
Travis Frederick, Wisconsin. Zach Martin, Notre Dame.
Lael Collins, LSU.
Healthy offensive front, one of the best, of course. Even without Elliott, they are 3rd in the league in rushing. Alfred Morris is the running back. He's done a nice job in the stead of Elliott. Picks the handoff here and starts the game with a 5-yard run up to the 30-yard line. Dak Prescott had the tremendous rookie season, led them to the playoffs, 13-3 record this season, 21 touchdowns and 9 picks. The rating of 91.6 is a little bit above the league average. Second down and 5. Prescott telling us yesterday the first thing he looks for when he comes to the line, not Khalil Mack necessarily, number 52, but the safeties. So he goes back to front. And the play clock takes him down inside 5 as he adjusts. And with a hand clap, takes the snap, goes to the left as he checks it off to the left side to Terrence Williams, who makes the catch, and that will be a first down with forward progress. Dexter McDonald makes the tackle.
Well, Terrence Williams on the outside, and one of the question marks for this Raiders team has been in that secondary. They've given up a lot of big plays this season, but since the new defensive coordinator, John Pagano, has taken over, a little more cautious approach, a little more zone back there, make the Cowboys go the long, hard way.
From the 36-yard line to the ground again. Nice hole there as Morris gets to the 41. Tackled there by T.J. Carey, and we meet the Raider defense.
Danico Autry, Mississippi State.
Eddie Vanderdos, Placer High School.
Justin Ellis, Louisiana Tech.
Khalil Mack, Buffalo.
Navarro Bowman, Penn State. Nicholas Morrow, Greenville College.
Bruce Irvin, Almost Heaven, West Virginia U.
Sean Smith, Pasadena.
Carl Joseph, West Virginia. Reggie Nelson, Florida.
T.J. Carey, Ohio University.
Navarro Bowman, the ex-49er, nice pickup. Got him in October, and he started every game since he moved across the bay. Empty backfield on second down and 5. Prescott with good protection has another first down here. So Terrence Williams with a flag thrown, our first of the night. Get a call here after the first down reception. Gene Steratore will make the call.
Pass interference. Offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty, replay. Second down.
So you take it back and make it second down and long.
It's like watching some of the old play against these Raiders secondary. You got to fist fight them down the field. And that time, Terrence Williams basically just had to throw McDonald off of him and got the call against him.
So second down and 15. Back we go to the 31-yard line. And a straight drop and a draw, and Morris, a big hole again, and the former Redskin out to the 47-yard line. Reggie Nelson makes the tackle, so they lost Elliott, but this guy has had 3,000-yard seasons in his career, 16-yard gain.
Well, one of the keys is you're going to try and get the pass rushers to go up the field and let their own momentum work against them. Created a little gap on the back end there for a big run. So we're seeing this offensive line, now that they are back together, now that they are healthy, just exactly what they can be and how they can take over a game. Two great offensive lines tonight.
Morris averaging 5 yards a carry, well above the league average as Prescott steps up. Wide open is Witten, who makes the catch. And the great tight end, a sure bet to go into the Hall of Fame in his 15th year out of Tennessee, a gain of 12 and a first down.
One of the things that you have to do playing this defense is occasionally drop back a pass rusher like Khalil Mack into coverage, and generally that doesn't go so well. Here Mack proves once again he's much better going forward than backwards. Absolutely nobody in that zone for Jason Witten.
Go no huddle here on the opening drive from the 35-yard line, and this time Morris at least is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Bowman makes the tackle there. The Raiders pass defense, and there is John Pagano, who took over when Ken Norton got fired a little over a month ago. Completion percentage against them is high, and the rating against this pass defense is very high, 105.3. And they've given up 20 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions all season long for this team.
And probably the biggest change that Pagano has made is the opposite of what you just saw there. Let the 2 outside pass rushers predominantly rush Irvin and Matthew.
And they come this time, but are picked up by that line. Prescott stepping away, throws down the sideline, and it's incomplete, intended for Witten. Jason Witten covered by the outside linebacker Nicholas Morrow. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
I don't think Nicholas Morrow ever saw this ball. Well, maybe he did. Let's see if he's going to turn around, look back. Jason Witten snaps his head around. Well, that's a really nice play. Boy, that's good coverage down the field against the great player in Witten.
Witten, their second leading receiver this season, number 1. Des Bryant, but none of their top 5 receivers for Dallas is averaging even 12 yards per reception. That's unusual.
In all key situations, Des Bryant the number 1 receiver, but a little more of Beasley here lately, coming off a big game.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 10, and that is intercepted at the 23-yard line. Picked off by Sean Smith. Only the 3rd interception in 14 games this season for that defense, and the big one here to stymie what was a good-looking opening Dallas drive. Oakland with the ball after the pick of Prescott. Well, the Cowboys start with an 8-play drive, and then it ends with the interception by Smith. Oakland has the ball from the 30-yard line. Marshawn Lynch is the running back. Has it over the left side. Nice hole. A typical Lynch running as he pulls his way behind Gabe Jackson for a gain of 9, and back we go to the Smith pick.
Yeah, Navarro Bowman, the key to it. This veteran player understands route concepts. He knew who was most likely to get the ball, turns, faces Dez, made him hesitate for just a moment, and the ball falls right into the lap of Sean Smith.
2nd and 2 now with the ball at the 38-yard line. Lynch again tries the right side, but runs into his own man and can go nowhere. DeMarcus Lawrence the first to bust it up. It'll be 3rd down and 5 after a loss of 3.
I tell you, this DeMarcus Lawrence has really turned into a complete football player. Watch him jump inside this outside zone play and still catch up to Lynch. We have seen him in recent weeks. We know what he's done as a pass rusher this season. 13.5 sacks, 2nd in the NFL. But I think his biggest improvement has been against the run. He is nonstop hustle right now and making plays all over the field.
Good bet to be in the Pro Bowl. Also a good time to be in your contract year.
Yeah, baby.
Which he is. 3rd and 5 as they empty the backfield here. Go 5 wide. And Carr gets rid of it in a hurry, and it's too high and incomplete. Jordan Lewis, the rookie, covering on the play. So it's 3 and out after Lynch had set them up with a 2nd and 2, and the Cowboys will come back after the punt.
Well, this is some of the aggressiveness I talked about in the open here. Just these outside corners and how physically they're playing right now. It's a great thing about being young. You haven't been burned a million times during the course of your career. So they're getting up and really challenging receivers and paid off there.
Marquette King, among the leaders in the league, bothered by a groin pull earlier in the season, but he can really bomb them. This one is relatively short, bounces at the 30-yard line, and will be down just inside the 30. So 6 minutes into the game in Oakland. No score on Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. By Toyota. Let's go places. By Bose, official sound of the NFL. And by Sprint, works for me. Since the 1930s, the residents of Thompson Avenue, nearby Alameda, transform their street to Christmas Tree Lane every December. Holly's already done her Christmas shopping.
Absolutely.
She'll do mine too next.
Yeah, she did. She helped you a little bit too.
Thank you. From the 32-yard line, the Dallas Cowboys begin their second drive. Give it to Morris, and he takes it out to the 38-yard line. So you go back to 2012, you had Morris, a rookie, you had RG3, Robert Griffin in Washington. Boy, they looked like they'd be there forever. So RG kind of flamed out. Morris had 3 good years, winds up in Dallas, and he can be a feature back as he's proven through his career. And boy, he has been a godsend to them in the absence of Elliott.
Yeah, averaging 5 yards a carry. That is certainly one of the top numbers in the league.
Second down and 4 off the play fake, a little dump pass, and that'll result in a first down as Noah Brown makes the catch. A rookie out of Ohio State, Dexter McDonald, makes the tackle, and that's the 4th first down of the game for Dallas.
One of the things without Ezekiel Elliott is the Cowboys are seeing more sharks, as they call it, coming after Dak Prescott on these bootlegs. So they're not respecting the run quite as much, and they're really coming after Dak and making sure he can't get outside on the bootlegs. There you saw Bruce Irvin doing exactly that.
On the 46-yard line, Prescott will keep it himself and slides to a stop as he reaches Oakland territory at the 48-yard line. Man, you can get hurt doing that. He did a couple of weeks ago, in fact, in the Thursday nighter against Washington.
But it puts so much pressure out on that outside defensive end, outside linebacker. You don't have to do that 10 times a game, but just flashing it once a half, all of a sudden defensively you have to play entirely different.
2nd and 5, they put a fullback in. That's Keith Smith in front of Morris. And Morris will follow that fullback and turn it back the other way. Nice running to the 41. Well, you know Elliott's going to come back. He'll go right into the starting lineup, so Morris will see his role limited. But this Rod Smith, who we haven't seen yet tonight, has come on, and he's been a big factor.
Yeah, no question. And regardless, look, watch this offensive line, how they get up and down the field. I mean, there are 3, 4, 5 yards down the field, and if these backs can make that first cut and make that first guy miss, there are some big play opportunities.
Well, Smith, Frederick, and Martin, no strangers to the Pro Bowl, and probably won't be this year either. From the 42, they take the end around, a huge hole from Morris, and he takes it inside the 30 for another first down. And that's a gain of 12. Jack Del Rio looks on.
It's a great combination block over here on the left side. These two guys are going to get big movement and create a large gap inside, and then Tyron Smith comes down and seals it off. So anytime this offensive line gets it going like this, and then you'll see Jason Witten coming around to pick up Morrow, but either one of these offensive lines tonight could dominate the game.
Morris already has 51 rushing yards. They put Rod Smith in the game. To the outside he goes, and he cannot get around the corner. That's Nicholas Morrow, who made a good play defending a pass earlier on that first drive. Makes the stop here for a loss of 3.
Yeah, when you see number 50 out there, think speed. Nicholas Morrow, 4.52, and he just gets there. Watch the way he simply outruns Rod Smith to that point. It looked like Lyle Collins was going to get in front, but just too much Morrow.
Morrow, a rookie from Greenville. Jason Garrett, been the coach since 2010. Jack Del Rio, ending his 3rd year at the Oakland helm. 2nd and 13. A little flare out to Smith, and Smith takes it to the 27-yard line. So that'll make it 3rd down and about 8.
Mike Tice over there doing a little coaching with this offensive line, former head coach in Minnesota. This is a good bunch up front. Didn't have such a good day last week, though, against Kansas City. It was a rare off day for them, but they certainly can dominate just like Dallas can up front.
Off day for everybody last week in Oakland against Kansas City. They just routed them. 3rd and 8. Out of an empty set. Look out. Prescott has to dump it. It's incomplete. Nicholas Morrow again. So Morrow has already made 3 big plays tonight. Rookie free agent from Greenville.
Yeah, they've got 3-on-2 over here, and then Morrow is going to come split the gap. Travis Frederick unable to get across over there to help against Morrow, and already his speed showing up big time here.
So we'll have a field goal attempt as Dan Bailey comes out. Bailey had missed a few games with a groin pull, 4 games in fact.
And not such a good game for him last week.
No, not at all. Meanwhile, Prescott goes to the bench. They want the play clock to go back to 25, which they set it at right now. Yeah, Bailey coming off that groin pull. Missed 2 field goals, 2 long ones, and an extra point. First time he missed an extra point in his career.
Even when he misses over 50, you kind of go, what?
Yeah. So Garrett chewing with the officials about something. But now we're ready for that 45-yard attempt to try to put Dallas on the board, and he does just that. So 10 minutes into the game in Oakland, the Cowboys take the early lead. Coming up all week, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And Kendrick will be dropping by. So will Christopher Waltz and others on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon this week right here on NBC as you look at the Christmas tree in fabled Jack London Square in Oakland. Beautiful night looking down into the Coliseum, which has been around for over 50 years, opened in the mid-60s. Cordero Patterson, always a threat to break one, is back to receive the kick. And that one will go all the way through the end zone. Take a look at the Raider offense right now.
Derek Carr, Fresno State.
Marshawn Lynch, New Oakland.
Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech.
Seth Roberts, Mochi Jordan, 229.
Jared Cook, South Carolina.
Lee Smith, Marshall.
Donald Penn, Utah State.
Coleccio Assembly, Iowa State.
Rodney Hudson, Florida State.
Gabe Jackson, Mississippi State.
Marshall Newhouse, TCU.
Very high-priced offensive line. The Raiders have invested heavily in that line, but right now they come up 5 wide. They do this more than any team in the league, about 10% of the time with the empty backfield, and now you got action on the right side. That's Newhouse. And who was moving first? Gene Steratore with the answer momentarily.
Lee Smith was about 5 yards
Neutral zone
downfield.
infraction, defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, first down.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, you want to slow down one of the best pass rushers in the league? Give him some of that hard count. Like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, all the great ones have that ability.
Collins moving as well. And it makes it first down and 5. The opening drive for Oakland was 3 plays and 5 yards.
So now they go back to the spread formation after power early.
It's really been in a hurry, and the catch is made here by Jared Cook. And he's very close to a first down. Carr had a tremendous year last year. Got hurt, broke his leg next to last game, and obviously missed the playoffs. This year, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and the pass rating is about even with what the league average is, a little under 89.
Don't you wonder what this Raiders team might have done in the playoffs a season ago?
No question. When it is the 5 seed, actually had to start a 3rd-string quarterback. Connor Cook in the wild card game against Houston and had no chance. 2nd and 1. Flag as Lynch gets taken down for a loss for the moment.
Yeah, the receivers on the bottom side of the screen had an illegal formation.
And Steratore is going to check.
Uh-oh.
Well, what do we have here?
Somebody's hurt and pounding the ground.
Yep, it's Donald Penn, a guy who almost never misses time. He hasn't missed a game in 10.5 years in the regular season. The Oakland left tackle.
And when a guy that big and that tough is pounding the ground.
So an injury timeout. Back in a minute. Moments ago, Donald Penn got up and limped off. You see him there. We'll show you the play in a moment. His own man. Here it is. Kelechi Osemele, the guard, gets him on the back of the ankle, and that's a 330-pound guard. Newhouse goes to left tackle now. They bring in Vidal Alexander at right tackle. The Cowboys declined the penalty, took the play, so it's 3rd down and 3. As Carr empties it again. Cook resets in the slot to the right side. And Carr throws, and that's Michael Crabtree a little bit behind him. Goes through his hands, and it's 4th down. And Oakland still without a first down in the game.
Definitely happened before Crabtree was ready, but it happened because Sean Lee was on a blitz, and so Derek Carr knew he was unprotected, had to get rid of the football. And Crabtree just wasn't quite ready, and they mistimed what should have been a very, very easy completion, and maybe in microcosm a bit of their season this year.
A lot of drop passes, not that necessarily would go into that category. It was behind them, but they have dropped a ton. Marquette King booms this one. Switzer backing up. Flag is thrown. So Switzer from the 18 brings it back to the 25-yard line. Of course, when a flag gets thrown at that point, before the guy even catches the ball, 99.4% of the time, or roughly, it goes against the receiving team.
There was a block in the back. It was pretty easy to see.
50-yard punt. And they're discussing whether they're going to pick the flag up or call it a block in the back, which seemed to be pretty obvious as Carr goes over the tablet. Off to a bad start again this week are the Raiders on offense. Same thing last week when they fell behind to Kansas City and had no shot.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, kicking team, number 16. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Dallas.
Wow, that's the 0.6%. Back in 30 seconds. So the time of possession, one-sided. Oakland's run 6 plays. They have no first downs. Rod Smith is the running back here at the 35-yard line. And he gets taken down at the line of scrimmage by Justin Ellis. So sure enough, I say 99.4% of the time, and that's the 0.6% of 1% that it's called on the kicking team.
See, that's the kind of odds that you're magical with, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you play those odds.
Odds, I know. 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Pretty good play by a big guy there, Justin Ellis, slanting one way and then coming all the way back. But we've seen Rod Smith do some really good things the last few weeks in this offense, scoring a lot of touchdowns.
2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. And that pass is caught up at the 40. The Terrence Williams short gain. Big news, of course, in Dallas is tomorrow. Zeke Elliott comes back. We said to Garrett the other day, is he showing up at midnight or dawn? But the rules say he shows up at 10 o'clock in the morning. But he's been down in Mexico. They think he's in great shape. What do you think?
Say he's been working out. I guess they'll find out tomorrow, but they definitely knew exactly when he was going to be there. They finally had some conversations with him. And the big thing tonight is they have to stay in the hunt. They have to win this game, stay in the hunt, and hope for a little help here down the road.
Elliott still among the league leaders in rushing despite missing a good part of the season. 3rd down and 5 here. Prescott dumps it off. It's caught by Williams. He's been the main man tonight. That's a first down. Run out by Dexter McDonald, and we go to Michelle.
Al, I spoke with Ezekiel Elliott's agent, Rocky Arsenault, before the game. He sent along some pictures of Elliott working out at that resort in Mexico that you mentioned during the suspension. Arsenault, who was with Elliott for part of that time, told me the Pro Bowler added muscle and definitely looks leaner. Elliott was able to do his football activities on a field especially designed for him on one of the resort's driving ranges. He also ran sand dunes and lifted weights. Other mentors visited him, including Eric Dickerson out.
Well, Michelle, one thing, he will be fresh.
God, he looks so much like you. It's unbelievable.
down the line. It's caught at the 25-yard line by James Hanna, but then the ball comes loose at the end of the play, but it's whistled dead.
Ruling on the field is the runner was down by contact. First down, Dallas.
Hanna running down the sideline for a big gain here. It's a gain of 31 yards.
Safety Reggie Nelson comes down, and once again the tight end getting up the field, and they can't recover to get back into that deep zone. So that is the second of those flag corner routes, whatever you want to call it, that has burned this Raiders defense. So they like the zone, but the Cowboys have found a little void in that zone now.
Cowboys have gained 135 yards. Oakland 7. A minute to go in the quarter. Smith, his brother Jalen, plays on the defense, the linebacker who's the team's leading tackler. It'll be second down and 8 after a gain of 2.
Man, what a game Rod Smith had last week. 160 yards from scrimmage, big long touchdown pass, 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. And I think he's earned that third down back roll, don't you? I think he's going to be the guy going forward now. I'm sure they're thinking Ezekiel may need a few snaps off, and maybe it'll come on third down.
And Smith very good, obviously, in pass protection as well. 81-yard reception last week. 113 yards against the Giants. Second down and 7. Play action. That buys time, and then Smith makes the catch, and Smith will pick up the first down. Takes it inside the 10-yard line, and the second quarter will begin with a first down and goal for the Dallas Cowboys. End of one, 3-0 Dallas, and Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Downtown Oakland, California. Tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by Geico. 58 degrees at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. Start the second quarter. Dallas up 3-0 with a first and goal from the 8-yard line. Off the play fake. Prescott chased out on the run. Keeps his eyes downfield and is able to take it to the 4-yard line where he's tackled by Darius Latham. Second down and goal now from the 4.
I can't believe he didn't throw it. This is their favorite play on the goal line. Jason Witten comes down and does that. They go play action. He's open every single time, and he didn't throw it to him. They score more touchdowns on that play right there. I bet you Jason's coming back to the huddle going, are you kidding me?
Missed opportunity. Second down and goal from the 4-yard line. Beasley was in motion, sets in the slot to the left. Bryant to the right. He looks that way, throws a fade, and it's incomplete, and a flag is thrown. So that's going to make it a first down and goal. Sean Smith whistled for interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. The foul occurred in the end zone by rule. Dallas's ball. First and goal at the 1.
Smith tried to surprise Dez by jumping him late, hoping he didn't see it. And then he's a big guy. This is a big physical battle between those two. I don't know about that.
Reporting as an eligible receiver. Number 70.
Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
We don't know anything anymore. Neither do the Steelers.
You know, it's it's just seems like pass interference decides all these games anymore.
A lot of it. First and goal. Smith takes it. And he's into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. Rod Smith. That's touchdowns now in 4 straight games. 8 plays, 65 yards. They've gained 153 yards to 7 for Oakland. And Bailey comes in to try to make it 10-0.
When you get this combination going right here, watch Tyron Smith block down and then get up on that linebacker. That's what he was doing in the highlight days of his career before he started having some of those back issues. But he is getting healthier and healthier, and you can see this offensive line just keep improving with him.
Bailey's kick is good. About a minute into the second quarter, Smith takes it in, and the Cowboys lead 10-0 on the road. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Volkswagen. Why settle for an SUV when you can have an SUVW? By Samsung and by Old Navy. Turn your holiday into a holiday. The Raiders and the boys and girls clubs of San Leandro gathered on the historic USS Formie to celebrate the holiday season earlier this week. Mark Davis, son of the late Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders. This is the final regular season home game for them this season. 2 more years here. And then it's on to Las Vegas. The kickoff is fielded at the 2-yard line by Cordero Patterson. And a flag is thrown, which will probably negate a good part of that run back. Flag back at the 21-yard line. Little conference call here. A lot of discussion. And now
there are 2 holds on the play on the return team. Holding. Return team number 47 has declined. Also during the return holding, return team number 76. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Oakland.
Pick either one. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, left tackle Donald Penn, we saw him get his right foot rolled up from behind by Kelechi Assembly. He's officially questionable with a foot injury. He went back for x-rays. Also, Oakland defensive tackle Trayvon Hester is out with an ankle injury, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And there was Penn going back. And as we said when he got hurt, I mean, he is indestructible. He has not missed a regular season game in about 10 and a half years. So back to the locker room he goes, and now Carr. And the Raiders still seeking their first down of the game. Start this drive from back at the 10-yard line. Keep it on the ground. Lynch looks for room. We got another flag coming in from behind. That'll be a holding call.
Holding. Offense number 70. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
It's Kelechi Assembly, the ex-Raven, the left guard.
Yeah, they're trying to run all these outside zones here, but right now the Cowboys, with some of their stunts, are getting up the field. So the speed of the Raiders offense, which is not really what they are, they're more of a power team. And yet Marshawn Lynch is so good at those zone runs. They've tried to incorporate that, and they've sort of landed somewhere in the middle. You know, they don't really do what they do best sometimes.
The rest of the power team without Penn. You got a flag here. And this one's going to be against Oakland, and the crowd is getting very restless.
Well, coming into this drive, Sean Smith
False start. Offense number 30. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Jalen Richard, who came into the game in the backfield.
Sean Smith had an 8-yard interception return, and the Raiders offense had 7 yards, and this one they're making up for the 7 yards here. They're going the other way.
45 penalties against the team.
Getting close to the black hole.
First and 17 from just outside the 2-yard line. Carr from the end zone slings it to the outside, and Richard makes the catch up to the 12.
How many times have we had players tell us Sean Lee knows our plays? He comes out there and he yells out exactly where our plays are. Well, this is how he knows them. They go over for a debriefing. There's Matt Eberflus on the sideline, Rod Marinelli, and they come out, and then they start. Sean Lee starts yelling out, "Here comes Marshawn Lynch, zone left, zone left," and they just make plays. And it is remarkable, Al, when you put on tape when Sean Lee is playing on this defense and when he's not. It is 2 different defenses.
So that song "With or Without You," we can show you some numbers with or without Sean Lee and what a gigantic difference it makes. Second down and 7 from the 13-yard line. Play action. Carr slips to his left, deep downfield. Lucky that one wasn't picked off. Intended for Crabtree, who was surrounded. Damian Wilson Had it go through him, it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Sean Lee made an audible on that one. He knew exactly what was coming. You'll see him make the audible call. There he is right there watching. Carr's going to make a call. Lee's going to go, here we go. Everybody mimics the call around. They know exactly what's going on, and they run underneath the route. He is the quarterback of this defense.
And there it is with him. They are 6-2. Without him, they are 1-4. Points allowed, almost 12 points a game. Yards per carry, 1.1. Gigantic difference. He's like having a defensive coordinator on the field. 3rd and 7. And a heck of a player. Just a matter of trying to stay healthy. They run a stun up front, and Carr is able to slip away and slides to a hole up at the 21-yard line for what should be a 1st down.
Well, they've taken DeMarcus Lawrence now, their best pass rusher, and followed him across the formation against Marshall Newhouse. He's thinking, oh boy, I'm going to go get a sack here. And then Derek Carr, very athletic guy, takes off and picks up a big 1st down. They needed that.
Their first of the game. So after they started with 2 penalties, and there's Rod Marinelli, the venerable defensive coordinator, former head coach of the Detroit Lions. They had a 1st and 17, but able to turn it in to their initial 1st down. From the 20. Off the fake, off the reverse, and then everybody's covered, so he just throws it into the ground and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Well, this is a smart defense. Everybody came over there. There's Todd Downing, who's the new offensive coordinator, had big shoes to fill when Bill Musgrave's contract was not renewed, and almost kind of a no-win situation, don't you think? He is sitting there, and they were so good a year ago, and they don't bring back Musgrave in a tough year, and so he actually has been trained. He was raised by Scott Linehan, who had him for 14 years in his system, and he's the offensive coordinator on the other side.
You saw the disparity in the rankings from last year to this. Here goes Lynch to the 25-yard line. So Marshawn Lynch started his career in Buffalo. Of course, he went to Seattle, beast mode. Phenomenal up there. Retired, left Seattle, and he's an Oaklander, so a veteran or a native really of this area. And he decided that he wanted to come back. And Oakland said, yeah, come on, we'll take it. And he was actually, one of the things he thought about was Oakland's going to leave. They're going to leave for Vegas in a couple of years. And he wanted to come back and give them that connective tissue this year. And an okay year, 3rd down and 5. Fires, that's caught. And the ball comes out at the end of the play, and the Cowboys are all over it, but the Raiders wind up with it. So Crabtree had it,
Ruling
lost
on the field is a catch, fumble recovered by Oakland. 1st down.
So Crabtree, nothing new with a drop, but at least he's able to recover it himself and picks up some extra yardage.
Chidobe Awuzie, and the other of these young corners, going to come up and knock this thing out. And if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, you're probably thinking that looked a lot like the final play of that game today. Somehow it falls right back to Crabtree. I like that Awuzie. I think he is tip of the iceberg how good he's going to be. Big physical guy out there on the outside.
39-yard line. Lynch flips the ball to Patterson, and Cordero Patterson gets tripped up at the 35-yard line. That is Kayvon Frazier, the safety, who comes up to stop him in his tracks. Loss of 4.
Yeah, first it was Xavier Woods, another one of the rookies back on the back end, is going to come up and make the play. And then it is the new safety, Kayvon Frazier, who's getting some opportunities now because of his physical presence. Byron Jones, a very fast safety, but more and more now we're seeing 35 Kayvon Frazier in there as they're really rounding out this lineup on the back end.
Frazier, 2nd-year guy out of Central Michigan, 6th-round pick last year. 2nd and 14. Barr flips it out to Lynch, and Lynch gets bounced out of bounds, and he makes Awuzie pay a price as well. 3rd down.
Yeah, Awuzie's a little Awuzie right now. This Matt Eberflus had the best line of the week. Their linebacker coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He said, you know, they don't just give you the nickname Beast Mode. You have to earn that one. That's one of those nicknames. You better be a whole lot different if they're going to call you Beast Mode, and that guy has been.
3rd and 8, Beastquake right there. Bougier staying in. Cowboys crowd the line. Play clock at 1.
Busted him though.
Just to get it off on the blitz to the outside. The pass is hauled in, but a little shy of the first down. So Crabtree, on a play that needed 8, is only able to get 7.
Well, Derek Carr knew exactly what was coming. Everybody's yelling 30 because the blitz is coming off of here, but Crabtree doesn't take it deep enough, and Awuzie forces him out of bounds, and that's the end of that drive. So you're hoping your veteran player is going to force the issue. Of course, Awuzie knew exactly where he was trying to get to as well.
Marquette King comes in for his 3rd punt of the night. The rookie Ryan Switzer sets up for the return. Fair catch called for and made at the 10. 8:12 to go, first half. 10-0 Dallas. It'll be here before you know it. The Winter Olympics begin right here on NBC from Pyeongchang, South Korea on February the 8th. Shaun White back in action among others. From South Korea, right here on NBC, the Winter Olympics. Dallas begins the stride from the 10-yard line. And here's Morris, and he runs into his own man and gets taken down to the backfield by Reggie Nelson. So what about play action? Well, when you have a guy like Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, that makes a big difference, because on play action with Elliott, 6 touchdowns, no picks, and a great passer rating. With any other back since the suspension, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a 78 rating. So what a difference that makes, because the defense, with Elliott, you really got to kind of hang in there, as Linehan will get to use, well, not the same, different playbook next week, pretty much the same, but he gets his running back.
And one of the great ones. Let's just face it.
2nd and 10, swing pass to Morris, and he gets taken down here by Navarro Bowman, the former 49er, to set up a 3rd down and 11.
And Dallas had such a transition to make. They went 3 straight games. They didn't score 10 points. Got hot again the last couple of games, but it was just different. We asked Dak about it, and he said, you can't run play action because the linebackers weren't stepping up to try and stop the run anymore. They were like, go ahead, run it.
Well, in Elliott's last 6 games with the team, they scored 28 or more in every game. And then single digits in the next 3. 3rd and 11. In the end zone, you got a flag, and that pass
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 45 is in the area.
But there's a hold, and if that's in the end zone,
right.
Let's see.
Safety. If it's in the end zone.
If it's a hold. I don't know that it's a hold, but.
Yeah, well, Bowman's trying to tell him it's a safety, because a hold in the end zone would result in 2 points. Here's
Same thing with intentional grounding.
Holding. Defense, number 96.
Defense.
5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Nico Autry. How about that? They would have set up a 4th down. They would have had a punt from their end zone.
Right here, you're going to see a stunt and a hold so that they can get that one going inside. Going to hold Zach Martin. You'll see him pull the shoulder pads, and they're trying to set up a sack for Mack. But the official's too good. And now that the umpire is behind the line of scrimmage, they see a lot more holding, and you see a lot more screaming out of head coaches like Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, he loves it, huh? Oh, boy. And you got to listen before the play here.
That is the one thing they gave up by putting that umpire back there, was seeing some of those defensive holds. But that was a good call.
A 30-second timeout.
Raiders will take a 30-second timeout. So Jason Garrett trying to get his team into the playoffs. Well, as we go down the stretch, it's interesting the way things are shaping up. Philadelphia wins today. They're in good shape. Minnesota, how about the Vikings? They're in great shape. But now it's a scramble, especially for the wild card in the NFC.
Yeah, and it's really sort of down to one final slot there in that last wild card. And Cowboys hoping to get to 8-6, and then a bunch of people cheering against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they lose, they fall back to 8-6, and we'd have 4 teams for that last spot, the Cowboys being one of them at 8-6.
The Cowboys are very happy today that Seattle lost. The Rams destroyed them in Seattle, of all things.
Oh my goodness, how good did the Rams look?
Unreal.
And an unbelievable game today between Pittsburgh and New England. We could talk about that one all night.
Oh yeah, a few people will be. From the 14-yard line, Prescott under pressure, and he's going to go down to the 9-yard line. Khalil Mack. 9.5 sacks now for him, and that's sacks in 5 straight games.
Boy, superstar on superstar here. Tyron Smith going against Khalil Mack on the outside right there. And that time Smith just set a little too close to his quarterback and Mack a little bit too good. And that's what we've seen out of the Raiders here the last few weeks. Ever since John Pagano has taken over as that coordinator, this pass rush is really cranked up.
About 6 minutes to go. First half, 2nd and 15. Inside handoff goes to Smith for a very short gain. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Now, there we go on
Eddie Vanderdoe's being worked on.
Now we've seen a lot of good defensive players around the league, but this Khalil Mack made that run stop after making the sack, and he's the one you have to stop. Bruce Irvin's been hot, but Khalil Mack is the star.
Defensive player of the year last year. 3rd and 12. 3-man rush. Prescott fires, and that'll be caught, and forward progress for Witten does net him the 1st down. So Witten knows exactly where he had to be, comes back, Carey makes the stop, 1st down on a gain of 13.
This time it's over here is Matt going against Lyle Collins, who's done pretty well. And that was an interesting spot on that play. You know, you've got Witten coming back to the ball. Exactly when did he catch it? There it was. And just enough for the 1st down.
At the 25-yard line. Morris, nothing happening there. Tries to spin away and cannot. And is thrown back at the line of scrimmage. Darius Latham makes the tackle.
But you got to say that Alfred Morris more than did his job. This is a team that, yes, with Ezekiel Elliott averaged 148 yards rushing a game and then dropped to 120. But it didn't fall off the map. You know, these guys did well enough, and especially the last couple of weeks, to at least keep him in it. You know, and the same thing sort of with Aaron Rodgers. You know, Brett Hundley did enough to keep him in it. Couldn't win today.
Dallas 3rd in the league in rushing, and now Morris on the check down gets taken down by Navarro Bowman, setting up a 3rd down and long.
Boy, I really like watching Navarro Bowman play football. Athletically, he's not what he once was, but he just knows what's going on. And John Pagano has become so reliant on him as the communicator of his message. We were at practice the other day, and it was Pagano just sitting over there, just one-on-one, talking to Navarro Bowman, because he knows he's the translator, he's the leader out there on that field, and he came over in the middle of the season.
7.5 years in San Francisco. 3rd down and 9. Deep drop by Prescott. Surveys, fires, and that's almost intercepted and should have been. TJ Carey had it, couldn't hold on. Pass intended for Beasley, well covered, 4th down.
Yeah, a little bit different when a corner has that deep flag route. You have to be careful because TJ Carey is going to run underneath this throw. Now they're going to try to get it out there to the corner one more time, but watch that lurking cornerback come back and should have had it. And if you're a Raiders fan, you have seen way too much of drops like that out of your receivers and your defensive backs this year.
Cowboys' first punt, Chris Jones. Short kick, fielded at the 31. They're caught there by Jalen Richard. A little over 3 to go to the half. Dallas 10 and Oakland nothing. You know, you can call it the Super Bowl that never was. Between the mid-60s and the mid-80s, these were the two dominant teams. 6 times both reached the Final Four. They had the most regular season wins, 208 and 206. Most postseason wins, Dallas 20, Oakland 19. Super Bowl wins, Raiders had 3, the Cowboys had 2. There was John Madden being carried off the field at the Rose Bowl. But they never got to meet in the Super Bowl despite being so dominant over 20 years. And we thought maybe this year would be a Dallas-Oakland Super Bowl. But if it is,
We got a lot of work.
oh yeah, there's a lot of work going on. Here's Lynch for a gain of 9 up to the 40-yard line. Art Shell is here, former Raider coach and great tackle, Hall of Famer. There he is. And lower left, that's Joe Morgan. So you've got 2 Hall of Famers there. Art Shell, Joe Morgan, who played in the World Series here in 1972 with the Cincinnati Reds in this ballpark, 2nd and 1.
One of Cincinnati's favorites, right? I loved him as an announcer, too. I listened to Joe Morgan do a baseball game. I felt like I was going to class. Really, really good.
Yeah, George Atkinson is there, the former great Raider. Yeah, I was doing the Reds when Morgan was there. It was Morgan, Rose, Bench, Perez, Concepcion, Sparky Anderson. Team for the ages. And the Raiders were a team for the ages. They always used to call themselves, Al Davis did, the team of the decades.
Hey, dog!
Well, up until the 90s, that was true. And now on 3rd and 1, the Cowboys say no. Let's see where they spot it. But he does probably, Carr, on a keeper, pick up enough for a first down as we go to the 2-minute warning. And that will move the chains. 2 minutes to the half. Dallas 10, and the Raiders nothing. So at a halftime coming up, the Patriots had a wild win over the Steelers. Recap of that, Jerry Richardson being investigated by the league and announced tonight he's putting the Panthers up for sale at the end of the season. Subjects to be discussed on the Toyota halftime coming up shortly. 2 minutes to halftime. Raiders have it at the 41-yard line. Carr under pressure. A flag is down. The pass up for grabs. An incomplete intent for Crabtree. Richard Ash put the heat on that time, knocking Carr down. Put a flag down.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are saying, oh, you got that one. Why didn't you get the one on the quarterback sneak?
Offside. Defense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And as Richard Ash comes across the line. Yeah, they missed one on that Carr sneak that picked up the first down. Here it was.
Right out of here. Vidal Alexander definitely flinched. Everybody on the Cowboys bench started screaming. Didn't get the call.
Now a first down and 5 at the 46-yard line.
Down! Ready, set!
Lynch, he gets the first, takes the ball into Dallas territory to the 45-yard line. Xavier Woods makes the tackle.
Can I tell you what the Cowboys' plan is to tackle Lynch? One guy try to stop him, the other would come in and try and pick up one leg so they can't keep going.
Carr throwing along the sideline, and the catch is made. It's hauled in for a 9-yard gain.
I had never heard that strategy before. The first guy's job was to try and stop Marshawn Lynch. The second guy was supposed to pick up one leg so he couldn't overpower him, and then the cavalry was supposed to come in and try and get him on the ground.
Well, you're talking about a guy who almost always is up among the leaders in missed tackles. Just runs through people as he's done for most of his career. DeAndre Washington now comes into the backfield here with Lynch on the sideline. 2nd down and 1 from the 35-yard line. Give it to Washington, and he's stacked up close to the line to gain. Cowboys have 2 timeouts, and this will be a first down.
Yeah, the Cowboys starting to get those safeties around the line of scrimmage themselves. That time 25 Xavier Woods came in to make that tackle. So they are using him in the slot, and he is getting active, as is this defensive line.
1 minute to play. Roberts makes the catch. It's a 5-yard gain. But I tell you what, tonight Carr has completed 7 of 11 for 55 yards. That's one of the problems. They're not picking up any yardage on their passes this year. That's 5 yards per attempt tonight so far.
They're sort of the anti-Raiders, but because the Cowboys are playing 2 deep safeties, there aren't many opportunities.
2nd and 5. Another dump off here. Washington Wicket taken down to the 24-yard line. Stays inbounds. Lewis makes the tackle. Clock is ticking down. Crowd wants to know why you're not using the timeout. And they do here. They wasted some time. They have one left. Since next Sunday night is Christmas Eve, we'll be with you Saturday night. Saturday night, Minnesota against Green Bay is the action. Football Night in America, as usual, starts at 7 Eastern time. Lambeau Field next Saturday. And I don't want you to look at the weather report for this week in Green Bay. Don't. Do me a favor.
I don't have to. You tell me every 30 seconds. It's going to be 0.
No, it's going to be about 7. Maybe they're wrong. First down from the 24-yard line. Carr under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Cordaro Patterson. Anthony Brown with the coverage. 21 seconds to the half. 2nd and 10.
You know, the Cowboys made so many changes on the back end, but Anthony Brown, one of the fastest guys they have in this secondary, is now reduced to rotating in with Jordan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie on the outside for one series each guy, and he'll just rotate in there. But these young players, they made wholesale changes in their secondary a year ago, but they're starting to get it. I mean, you're starting to see these guys now. They're making plays.
Almost all the passes, short passes, playing too deep. Dallas, 2nd and 10. That pass going to the 19. That's a first down. Jared Cook will take it to the 11, and Oakland will have to use its final timeout. Back in 30 seconds. Raiders without a timeout. It's first down at the 11-yard line. And let's see what they've called up here.
You almost have to throw it in the end zone. There's a possibility you could get up and spike the ball, but 14 is about the cutoff.
Danger zone.
Yeah, you want to throw some tight end, double moves, slants, anything that sort of has that receiver going into the end zone. And of course, they have good players like Crabtree for those jump ball plays too.
Yeah, you don't want to get tackled at the 2-yard line and the clock expires. 5 wide here. Carr to the end zone. Caught! But a flag is thrown. For the moment, Jared Cook with the touchdown.
Sean Lee was right there, and Jared Cook came into him. Let's see which way this goes.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 87. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So take it away. You got 10 seconds now.
You'll see Cook. He's going to go right into Sean Lee here. Drop that shoulder, give a little push, and create enough room and steal it away from him. But again, an official watching that matchup all the way decided it was Jared Cook with the foul. And boy, that is a big call against the Raiders.
Jared Cook, a guy Dallas doesn't want to see. He's the guy that made that unbelievable catch from Aaron Rodgers last year along the sideline of the playoff game, which led to the game-winning field goal by Mason Crosby.
Now you have to be careful. No sacks in this situation, and the Cowboys, they can come get you. DeMarcus Lawrence would love to end the half right here.
So 1st and 20.
Is it hot?
5 wide. Carr flushed out. Throws, and that's out of the end zone. With 3 seconds, Crabtree the closest to it. But at least there's a little time on the clock. Del Rio looking for a foul, but won't get one, and they send out the field goal team.
Take a look at this action right down there. Crabtree, there was some action. Didn't know if Awuzie might get it. And the clock at 3 seconds, that's it.
Could have called offensive interference on that one.
Yeah, he absolutely could have. And as we've seen, they could have called defensive too. You know, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Tell me. Raiders will get the ball to start the second half. 39-yard attempt by Giorgio Tavecchio. Just get it off before the play clock expires, right over the top of the upright, and no good. What a messy ending to the half for the Raiders. King gets it down, and the kick is no good. So it's 10-0 at the half. Coming up next at the halftime after these messages from your NBC station.
Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
Stand up until you stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen.
Let's take care of business today at home.
Intercepted at the 23-yard line by Sean Smith. Only the third in 14 games for that defense. Smith takes it, and he's into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. Under pressure, and he's going to go down to the 9-yard line. Khalil Mack.
This pass rush is really cranked up.
Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
And back we come to Oakland. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth. Michelle Tafoya. Sunday Night Football, Week 15. And the buzz tonight. So Dak Prescott, 104 yards through an interception on that first drive and sacked one time. Derek Carr, almost everything going short. 9 of 15. Only 3 attempts over 10 yards. Des Bryant, not factored tonight. Targeted once. Does not have a catch. And the Raider offense, fourth time held scoreless in the first half of a game, tied with the Dolphins for most. And Oakland at the end of the first half, missing the field goal attempt over the top of the upright. There's Bryant awaiting his turn, and Patterson awaiting his turn, and he'll run it back from the goal line. Cordero Patterson to the outside. Breaking tackles, but a flag is down, and Patterson may go all the way to the end zone, but you got a flag all the way back downfield at the 33-yard line. So for the moment, you got 2 flags. That would be a 100-yard return, but chances are, to quote Johnny Mathis, you've seen enough football to know it's coming back. So the Raiders had a touchdown call back at the end of the first half on offensive pass interference.
During the return,
it's
holding,
a tackle.
Return team number 56.
It's unbelievable.
10-yard penalty. First down.
Xavier Woodson Luster just made a tackle in front of the officials, and there was no way that was even going to be relevant when you're talking about Cordero Patterson.
Well, we'll go to Michelle.
Well, the big hit to that Raiders offense was the loss of left tackle Donald Penn with that foot injury. Jack Del Rio confirmed he will not return. They've got 6 offensive linemen ready to go, and he said we may have to give some help on that left side, but he liked the fact that his offense was starting to move the ball at the end of the first half. As for Jason Garrett, he likes the way his defense is playing. That young secondary making Oakland earn everything, but they're going to continue to attack Marshawn Lynch, Al.
All right, Michelle. So Oakland now, after the penalty, has to start from the 10-yard line. And the pass is caught for a 10-yard gain by Richard up at the 20-yard line. So they start with a first down.
Yeah, and if you wonder why Derek Carr plays the way he does, this team is a catch-it-and-throw-it team when they get into some of their spread formation looks. Or they have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, and they're a power-running team. The problem the Raiders have is there's no connective tissue between the two. You think the way they can power run the football, they'd be a great play-action passing team, but they're not. They don't even do it very much.
You'd think.
Hey, watch him coming inside. On express. That's up.
Lynch finds that hole. And the Raiders off to a good start here in the second half. Back-to-back first downs on 2 plays up at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and sometimes you can be too aggressive on defense. Here they're trying to get some linebacker pressure coming up there, and then Marshawn Lynch with that jump cut on the outside, and Rodney Hudson doing a good job on the inside against Richard Ash right there to open up that hole. So here's the 2 offenses. The minute they start with the spread, now they come back. Now they're going 3 wide receivers, and Marshawn Lynch just hit a big run.
59.
A lot of people would think play action.
Monday down. Blue 80. What's up?
Play clock at 1. Give it to Lynch. Can that bounce away from tackles here, and Sean Lee finishes the job.
Well, and here's Derek Carr. When they get into the spread, you'll see he just catches it and throws it. I mean, less than 1 second, and he is the fastest quarterback release guy in the NFL. You can see the footwork. He's just going to catch it, spin around, get that ball out of there. But this is a team when he has a clean pocket, a 101 rating. But when he's under pressure, a 43 rating. So there's no in-between whatsoever. A lot of those interceptions come under pressure, and it has not been a good year under pressure.
Quick blitz, gets it off to Lynch, and Lynch will get taken down. Yeah, Damian Wilson blitzing on the play, got rid of it in a hurry. 3rd down and 4. Here's exactly what Chris was talking about. Derek Carr, clean pocket, a 101 rating, which is good. Under pressure, a 43 rating, which is very bad.
And how much pressure can he be under it? I mean, he's averaging 2.31 seconds getting it out of his hands, but there has to be some way to connect a strong running game and a good quick passing game, but it really just hasn't worked out that way this year.
3rd and 4, he sends Richard out on the left side, and he just stands there, and they got Steratores crew with another flag.
Well, everybody moved except the center.
Look at Gene's facial expressions.
False start.
He's having fun. Great
Offense
time.
number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Vidal Alexander, who is in the lineup only because they had to move him over when Penn went out of the game and Newhouse went to left tackle.
Yeah, well, it's called motion, but in reality, it was a lack of motion by the center. Rodney Hudson is the only one who wasn't in motion. Everybody else was moving. Sometimes even the centers forget the snap count.
Makes it a 3rd down and 9. Carr under pressure that time, gets it away, and fighting his way for a 1st down is DeAndre Washington. So 3 successive 1st downs, and the Raiders begin the second half with a nice drive, have the ball at the 43.
Really great play by Washington right there. Not only did he get the chip on the outside to help the protection, then he sneaks out. Here we go, going to get a chip and then a release right out through there. That's playing running back. That's what they're looking for in 3rd down backs.
Washington stays in as the back here. Looks it again. Picks up a couple of yards before he is thrust back by Hitchens and friends. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Sounds like a TV show.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper is the guy who should be the big down the field threat, right? There's Rod Marinelli, and he just frustrates offenses. He just basically dares you to go play after play. You hit some runs, I don't think he cares. You hit short passes, I don't think he cares. He just assumes eventually your offense will implode if you have to go on those 10, 12, 14 play drives. And so far the Raiders have struggled.
2nd down and 8. The 7th play of the drive. Lynch. It's gang tackle at the 46-yard line. Rod Marinelli, defensive coordinator, he makes sure that nobody has a loaf, what he calls a loaf. They put the film on, and if you don't run to the ball, you get a loaf.
Yeah, you've been Marinelli-ized, I guess, is what because these guys are scared to death of him. But we do see that when guys buy into it, and I think DeMarcus Lawrence is the #1 example of that. When a guy fully buys into what Marinelli is teaching them along that defensive line, good things happen.
3rd down and 6. Carr stepping up to avoid pressure. He's going to take off. He's going to get the 1st down and a lot more all the way down to the 21-yard line. Derek Carr under pressure runs for 32.
Sean Lee is going to come on some pressure here and just gets caught up in the traffic. And no matter what you do, also had the safety blitz with Byron Jones, so the support just simply wasn't there. And then you see some of the speed of Derek Carr. He's a good athlete when he gets out there, runs 4.7. And that was the kind of play this Raiders offense needed.
2nd longest run of his career, had a 41-yarder as a rookie. Carr in his 4th season at the 21-yard line now. Off play action, buys time, throws, and incomplete. Lewis covering Crabtree. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, as long as you understand the full scope of this defense. So Jordan Lewis, a young player on the outside, but there is safety help over the top. So he doesn't have to worry. You can see Jeff Heath come into the picture late there. So anything on a post, anything that goes deep, he's going to have safety help. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a frustrating defense to play against because typically you don't get those one-on-one opportunities against these young corners.
2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line.
What's up?
Toss to Lynch. Marshawn Lynch sets up a 1st and goal. Got in behind Marshall Newhouse, the tackle. Takes it down to the 2-yard line. Gain of 19.
The old flip 90 play, we know this one well, and look at the impact it has. Come here and flip the ball out here. That defensive end is coming to get the quarterback, and then there goes Marshawn Lynch, and not many volunteers for that.
From the 2, throw a fade into the end zone, and it is hauled in by Crabtree for the touchdown. So the Oakland Raiders start the 2nd half by going 90 yards.
And that's what makes goal line defense different, is down here, you don't get the safety help. Now it's just one-on-one, and now Crabtree's saying, yeah, now throw it up here. It's not that I can't beat that guy, I just can't beat them all back here.
7th touchdown catch, so a half that began with what looked like a Cordero Patterson 100-yard touchdown return call back. It's a 90-yard drive. Extra point is good. They picked up 2 big 3rd downs. Carr running for 32 to set them up, and it's a 10-7 game in Oakland. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fears, no hidden fee, that's transparency. By Macy's, because the perfect gift brings people together. By Pitch Perfect 3 in theaters this Friday. And by BMW, we only make one thing the ultimate driving machine. Last week, the Cowboys visiting 4 different children's hospitals around Dallas-Fort Worth this holiday season. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum alive now after that Raider drive. And Switcher's going to come out from 6 yards deep and get decked before he reaches the 15-yard line. Great coverage on the play.
Well, what's happened to Des Bryant here in the 1st half? It's been a struggle. Double teams on many occasions, especially down in the red zone. And the one time he did get targeted in this game, it ended up being an interception right here. Carl Bowman right there to stare him face to face, and he does hesitate. There we go. So now the pressure shifts back to this Cowboys offense that has looked really good, but sitting there with just a 3-point lead now.
Bryant split wide to the left. Hand the ball off to Alfred Morris. Up to the 16-yard line. He goes for a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
There's Marshawn Lynch. He's an interesting guy. Now, at the very least, you have to say he is a really interesting guy. He has actually come on the field to protect players on the other side of the field, on the other team, as much this year as he's done it to try and protect his own.
Came on the field in that Kansas City Thursday nighter and wound up getting ejected and suspended. To the outside goes this pass, a short one, and it's no good. It's incomplete. Cole Beasley never had control of it, covered there by Carey, and that makes it 3rd down and 9 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, TJ Carey's had a nice game so far. Just going to guard this little out cut right here, and in their heyday, the Raiders, one of the great man coverage teams in all of football, and now this crowd is getting into some Raider football.
Beasley has no catches. Bryant, no catches. Williams has 3 to lead the team. 3rd and 9. Prescott, and as he throws, and it is going to be picked off by Sean Smith, who's going to go to the end zone before Prescott can knock him out. Bruce Irvin got into Prescott to jar him, to create the throw, the floater, and Smith with his second pick of the night and into the end zone.
Did Beasley touch him when he was down? Beasley ran by him.
Well, it's a scoring play and a turnover, so it's automatically reviewed, but for the moment,
let's
he's
take
in the
a
stand.
look, make sure the catch first. I think the catch was good, not out of bounds. Now, did he touch him there? A pretty good job there by TJ Carey to block Beasley and may not have gotten a hand on him.
So it doesn't need to be challenged. They're looking at it anyway. If nothing else, he touched his chin strap.
We are going to review the previous play.
If nothing else, you saw the chin strap move, and that is part of the body. So that would be down by contact.
Then the question becomes, was he still on the ground when that contact was made?
Gets his hands under it, stays in bounds.
Knee down right there.
You see the chin strap move.
And a touch right there as well. So definitely down.
And that will move it back to the spot. So Oakland will not have the lead, we would surmise, at the end of this replay. But for Prescott tonight, already 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and for a team that has not been able to get turnovers and not been able to get interceptions this year.
Well, they have as many interceptions tonight as they had in the first 13 games of the season.
Well, when you get these two guys on the same side of the ball, their two best pass rushers, draws attention, and it gave Irvin a chance to come around, get his hands on the football, and you could see it was just a floater at that point.
So Steratore in consultation with New York. Take this much time, you're normally looking for where the spot is. You've already made your decision. If they're looking for a spot, the decision is that he was contacted.
After review, the ruling is that the defender did make an interception completion. However, he was touched down by contact at the 22-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 Oakland at the 22-yard line. The ball will be placed on the hash mark nearest Dallas's bench.
So Smith will not get the touchdown, but has his second interception. And Oakland, after that long drive, and Dallas had it for a minute or so.
7 minutes, 14 seconds.
Raiders get it back.
Thank you.
Here we go. Watch Tyron Smith and see what they do with him. Matt comes up and sort of occupies him for a second and allows Irvin just enough time to get around the outside and dive and get his hand on the football.
Now the Raiders from the 22. Lynch setting up 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And stays in the block and throws a nice block, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Michael Crabtree. Had Jordan Lewis, the rookie out of Michigan, back covering on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Nice job by Marshawn Lynch here to come over and pick up this safety blitz. Has to come around his quarterback. You bring a safety blitz, that means man-to-man coverage on the outside. Carr saw it, just couldn't hit it. And once again, Jordan Lewis there to make the play. Little push off by Crabtree, so this game's getting a little physical down the field.
Cowboys had a safety blitz going there as well with Heat coming in. Right now, 4-man line. Roberts goes in motion. Give it to Lynch. Tries to spin away and can't. And half the team takes him down. Cowboys in the draft went after cornerbacks, and there are 2 of them over the last 2 weeks, and that's pretty good when the rating is that low. You're doing a great job. And look at it tonight.
Yep, you can't ask for much more. Now, granted, They haven't played a lot of man coverage, some, not much, but this is a zone team predominantly. And especially Chidobe Awuzie on the outside is a big physical guy, and he will not back off. And we're starting to see Jordan Lewis play a little bit more like that as well.
3rd and 9, running a stunt up front, and then the pass is dropped, intended for DeAndre Washington. So the Raiders, who looked like they might have had the lead after what was going to be a pick six, negated by the contact, would have to settle for a game-tying field goal attempt.
Well, once again, a huge play that time by Beasley to be able to come up with that contact, and it saves them at least 4 points.
Tavecchio missing at the end of the first half when it went over the top of the upright. Just outside. And this one, well, I tell you, that was not a thing of beauty, but it's good. Little line drive, a sinker, ties the game 10-10 in Oakland. Tomorrow, Ellen DeGeneres' famous games are supersized and coming to primetime. Game of Games special preview tomorrow right after The Voice here on NBC. Fox Theater, Oakland, back to the Coliseum we come. Game locked up 10-10. No matter what happens tonight, neither team can be eliminated from playoff contention, but they're both on the edge coming in. The winner's going to be in a lot better shape than the loser as the kick is down in the end zone. So Bruce Irvin, you know, you get to know these guys, and he said the other day to us, he said, you know, I've always been a good person. I just didn't have the right people around me. Tough upbringing in Georgia. Went to West Virginia, but what he's doing along with Khalil Mack and some other guys is really special, Chris.
Yeah, and he was one of the guys that wanted to take a knee, and he said, I had to have a real honest conversation with myself. Was I taking a knee for the right reasons? Did I really care about those people? He saw some kids taking a knee, and he really thought it all the way through and started thinking, what could I do? And we'll pick it up after this play.
Yeah, part of it was, he said, what are the kids doing? They're just trying to emulate us. And this is Alfred Morris taking up to the 27-yard line.
So he started looking for opportunities, and there are a few tent cities in Oakland, and he decided that's where he was going to go. And he started having fish fries on Friday for people living underneath the viaduct there. He would take dozens and dozens of pairs of shoes, clothing, and he absolutely understood what was going on down there. He hired a chef to try and feed as many people as possible. That's taking action, and that's getting something done. That's awesome.
2nd and 8, and Prescott's going to get taken down to the 24-yard line, trying to escape, and Khalil Mack has his 2nd sack of the night.
Jason Witten's a pretty good blocker, but he's not this good. Defensive Player of the Year, and you can only hold him out for so long. Dak Prescott unable to find anywhere to go with the ball. This crowd's getting cranking, and here we go. This is a pretty good Raiders-Cowboys game right now.
They don't meet that often. Dallas coming in here for the first time since 05. Two fabled franchises locked up in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 11. Prescott deep drop, going deep downfield for Beasley. Reaches out, can't hold it in. Took a shot downfield with Beasley, and it's 4th down.
Getting a little chip action on both of these outstanding pass rushers on the outside, Tyron Smith, and you can see Rod Smith right there to help if needed. And on the other side, Mack was getting similar attention. So they understand when you play the Raiders, you have to be able to block those two guys, and just missed on the pass down the field.
That's Jalen Richard back to set the kick. Chris Jones, and he's going to run with it, and he has a ton of room. And Chris Jones, he's done this before, out at the 48-yard line. So on a 4th and 11, they turn him loose, and Jones goes 24 yards.
And one of the things, when you see two deep returners back there, you know there's only so much they can do up front and still cover on the outside. That time they saw the loop coming around and just take off. And for the Dallas Cowboys, this is a must-have-it game. And that is some call there by Jason Garrett.
James Hanna threw a block. He had a 30-yard run. Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach. Boy, that makes your night.
Yeah, and he can recommend it, but the head coach who answer the questions in the media after the game has to give it a thumbs up. Here we go again.
You got a flea flicker. You got Prescott going deep downfield into big-time coverage, juggled by Will Williams and incomplete. You had Joseph back there. A lot of black shirts in the neighborhood. Carl Joseph covering on the play, and it's going to be second down.
Hand it to the running back Morris and then flip it back, and then you'll see the route going down that way, and it looked like Williams just hesitated right there. I don't know exactly what the hesitation was for. It still hit him in the hand.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys are minus Tyron Smith. He's out of the game, and Byron Bell, number 75, is in at left tackle. Smith had missed a couple of games recently with a groin injury. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Witten, but a flag is thrown. It was a 2nd and 10 play as Smith walks around on the sideline.
And Bowman may have hooked Witten coming across the field. And I tell you, for the Cowboys, backup left tackles, that has not worked out so well this
Pass
year.
interference. Defense number 53. Spot foul, automatic. First down.
That's 10 penalties against Oakland. Tyron Smith's last play, we'll go back and look at that. When he missed the Atlanta game, Prescott got sacked 8 times.
Yeah, his right ankle rolled over on the foot of Bruce Irvin. Right there. Boy, aggressive drive this time by the Cowboys. Fake a punt, flea flicker.
Meanwhile, Prescott still 0 for 4 in this half with an interception. Tosses this one to Witten. And Jason to the 40-yard line where he's tackled by Sean Smith.
And for the Cowboys and Scott Linehan, their play caller, things are different now. I mean, they have lived through what happens when Tyron Smith goes out of the ball game. Chaz Green had such a tough time in Atlanta. Byron Bell is going to get the opportunity now, but they know they can't just sit back in the pocket. So you'll see some tricks, you'll see some play action, you'll see some bootlegs, but they're not going one-on-one on the outside with Bell against these two pass rushers.
2nd and 3. On a draw through the middle goes Rod Smith for a big first down to the Oakland 34-yard line. 3 minutes to go in the third.
I don't know how many times we've talked about it, but when you have to have it, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, they're the two guys that you're going to try and run behind. I mean, it's just a fact. The Oakland Raiders days on the left side of their offensive line, you knew that's where they were going to run. Everybody knew it. And with the Cowboys, they know they're going to run right behind Frederick and Martin.
Each of those guys has been to the last 3 Pro Bowls and can probably make reservations for a 4th. Dak gets out of the pocket. Another flag. And then he fires through the hands of Bryant down the sideline.
Holding. Offense number 45. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Only the 4th penalty on Dallas tonight. 10 against Oakland.
Well, Jihad Ward is the defensive lineman, number 95, and I guarantee you, Rod Smith's sitting there saying, wait a minute, I'm supposed to block linebackers and safeties, not defensive linemen. He did the best he could.
From the 44 on a 1st and 20. Fired, caught, 32-yard line. Bryant finally makes a catch and should have a first down. Needed 20. He's only caught 1 pass 20 yards from the line of scrimmage this year. A lot of the stuff is underneath. He gets 20 here and maybe 19. I think going to spot it 1 yard shy.
Watch the burst right there. A little burst, gets some separation. Now he just drives back towards the quarterback, and he's so powerful. That's the thing that you want with Dez Bryant. Once he gets his hands on the ball and turns into a runner, really exciting things happen for the Cowboys.
2nd and 1. And now Prescott fakes it, keeps it, first down, and inside the 10 he goes. Bryant and Witten, the wideout and the tight end, springing him with blocks. 1st and goal.
So this is what happens on an inside zone. You get Witten coming across, and this guy thinks he's getting kicked out. So Irvin tries to jump underneath, but it's a keeper. So now you've got a lead blocker out in front in Witten. So that's the game you play with that outside linebacker. Do you come down inside, or do you have to wait on the outside for Dak?
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Smith. He gets to the 5-yard line. Smith tonight with his 7th carry for 13 yards on the ground. 2nd and goal.
Boy, and it's what you love about this time of year if you enjoy watching football, because this is an elimination game. Really, not officially,
right?
But basically the loser, their season's over with at this point.
Close enough. Final minute of the quarter. Great protection. Great coverage. Prescott's going to take off. In he goes for a Dallas touchdown. Well, the secondary couldn't do better work than that. But he's able to dance around, finds the opening, and he goes. And so the Cowboys, 75 yards on 11 plays. And, of course, the key was the fake punt by Chris Jones.
Watch this protection, Al. Anytime Dak Prescott gets a chance against a 4-man rush to stand there for 4-5 seconds, there's just no way. When there's a 4-man rush, there are 2 gaps in that defensive line that are wide open. A 5-man rush, always one. And when you have a mobile quarterback and he's just standing back there against a 4-man rush, it's over.
That's exactly what he is. It's his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Bailey tacks on the extra point. That fake punt on a 4th and 11 by Jones, setting him up. 17-10 Cowboys. Action coming your way on Christmas special. Week from tomorrow, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got DeAndre Hopkins, you got the Steelers and the Texans. Coverage starts right here on NBC at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Bailey kicks off. Returnable from the 4. Ever dangerous Patterson. There he goes again. Loses the ball, but loses it out of bounds at midfield. And this time there are no flags. A great return. Anthony Brown popped him out of bounds. It goes. It's a 48-yard return. And the Raiders will have the ball at midfield when we come back on Sunday Night Football.
The young guns in this Cowboys secondary getting the job done tonight. It has been fun to watch them play on the outside against some pretty good receivers. Jordan Lewis been battling all night against Crabtree. Get his head around, react to the football. Nice play there. One more time. Just good enough. Chidobe Awuzie going to strip the ball out of Crabtree. Then Crabtree's going to get a little measure of revenge later on. And we really didn't even hit on Xavier Woods, who may be playing the toughest of all the positions, that slot cornerback tonight for Orlando Scandrick. So they are young, they are talented, and they are getting better every time I watch them.
Big transition in the offseason. They let several veterans go, including Brandon Carr, Barry Church picked up the kids. Meanwhile, from the 47, Clark throws, and the pass is a little low at the 40-yard line and incomplete. One hop by Cook. We go to Michelle.
Well, Chidobe Awuzie has great expectations for this young secondary too, Chris. He told me, we're very young and we're hungry. We share the same mindset, the same swagger. Football is fun when you all play off each other, and if we stick together and keep doing what we're doing, we could be the next young DB group and make things shake. Al, he's predicting this group could be the next no-fly zone or Legion of Boom.
You know, Michelle, I think back to when the Cowboys revamp that offensive line and how beautifully that turned out. And it's pretty much what they're trying to do with that secondary, especially after the last year's draft. Second down and 10. High throw, and Crabtree has to haul it in and then get stopped in his tracks there by Frazier. And that may take us to the fourth quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 9 coming up next.
You know, Al, it's interesting. Those old 49ers teams, when they started the rebuild, they did it in the secondary with a bunch of young players. Bill Walsh figured that one out early, too.
Ronnie Lott, Eric Wright, 3rd and 9. And that will be the end of the third quarter. So a good one on Sunday Night Football. Dallas up 17-10. Sunday Night Football back after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico, part of the Bay Bridge, spanning San Francisco Bay, River Buena Island, Treasure Island, right there. And Jack Del Rio on the sidelines. What the Raiders need to win the AFC West, win the final 3 games. They're at Philadelphia and at the Chargers, and the Chiefs have to lose twice against Miami and at Denver. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Sunday night from Oakland. It's 3rd down and 9. The Raiders at their own 48-yard line. Look out. Carr able to get it away, but it got deflected, and then it winds up in the arms of Seth Roberts. To the 23-yard line, it's DeMarcus Lawrence who came in. I think he jarred it, but it floated, and it goes downfield, and it's a 28-yard gain.
This is pure luck right here. Warren's going to get his hand on the football right there, just like what happened to Dak, and it just comes down into the arms of Seth Roberts. Holy smoke, sometimes you need breaks like that to win a football game. Jason Garrett can't believe it.
So Garrett now.
I think he's saying it was bobbled.
Well, he's thrown the flag.
Challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
There was definitely a little movement on the ball. Did he fix it before it went to the ground? I think that's a catch. I mean, there was a bobble, but not when he was on the ground. A little bobble there.
Has it there.
Catch there, another bobble. He's
coming
going to
loose
the ground.
Again, going to the ground.
But he's got his hand under it. There was a little bit when the point seemed to move on the bottom, but you couldn't see.
What they're looking at right now is, did the ball hit the ground without control? So it clearly hits the ground. There it is there. Does he have control? And that will determine the ruling. That was a 3rd and 9. Clearly on the ground at some point there. Does he have control is the question.
Based on what I've seen, I think he did, but...
After today? I mean, after any day.
Yeah.
What do we know?
Yeah.
What does anybody know?
Looked like his hand might have even been under the tip of the ball as it hit the ground. See that?
Yep. One of these, I'm not even going to speculate what this one is.
I'm going to walk out on the high wire one more time. I'm saying that's a catch.
I'm walking out with you. I think it's going to stand.
Really? All right.
All right. What do we know?
At least we have a net. We're in no real danger.
You sure of that?
No, I'm not.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a completed catch. Dallas will be charged with the first time out of the half, and Dallas has one challenge remaining for the game.
Well, Dak Prescott knows what this feels like. Happened to him earlier in the game. Lawrence just enough of that hand to cause it to flutter straight up in the air, and basically Seth Roberts never broke stride.
First down now at the 24-yard line. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Cowboys up by 7. Lynch. And Lynch goes over the left side. Fights his way to the 20. Gain of 4. This isn't the only way, but the simplest way for the Cowboys to get to the wild card spot. Win 3. Lions lose once. Falcons, Panthers, or Saints lose twice. And they've got games with each other down the stretch. Jerry Jones and company looking on. They can't win the division. Philadelphia's already wrapped that up in a first-round bye. So the only way that Dallas gets in is as a wild card. Second down and 6. Chased by Lawrence. Pass caught to the 18-yard line goes Lee Smith, one of their tight ends, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 3.
There's that shark on the outside here. Lawrence going to come up the field, and of course now when you have a mobile quarterback, they're going to play this, so it's going to force the ball out of his hands much quicker. There's Lee out there to make the catch. You know, one of the interesting things about this Raiders offense is last year they had a lot of success with 6 offensive linemen in the game running the football. Now, obviously, an offensive lineman hurt tonight in Donald Penn, but we really have not seen them do that much this season.
3rd and 3. Carr going left, throws, and that's caught. That's going to be a first down. Crabtree. Lewis was covering on the play. First down for Oakland.
It's one of the great things about being young and flexible. You could make this turn and throw. And Derek Carr, when they practice this throw, they have to turn those shoulders all the way around. Watch him get those shoulders all the way turned to make an accurate throw.
Incurred a back injury early in the season, missed a game. So still able to twist and turn and pick up the first down. Crabtree scored 6 tonight, including 1 for a touchdown. On the 13, and now jumping across the line, Malik Collins.
False start. Offense number 87. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Not his fault. Jared Cook moved first. 1st and 15.
There we go. Derek Carr was happy for a minute.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing is when you do that, then you have to go stand next to the head coach. The head coach was pretty honest with us this week too, wasn't he? About the culture and not quite what it's been and what they were trying to build. And
very much so. 1st and 15. Lynch breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. Forced out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Got away from Sean Smith. Or Sean Lee on the play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
You know, they call it breaking tackles, and so many times I wonder at what percentage of that record number of broken tackles are run over tacklers. You know, because he really, his legs, when he makes contact, his legs are about 5 or 6 feet apart, and you don't know what to tackle. That's the reason the Cowboys were saying just grab one of the legs and try and lift it off the ground.
Make him a wishbone. 2nd and 10. That pass into the end zone is hauled in. Seth Roberts, but it's incomplete. Seth Roberts with Awuje covering on the play. Looked like he was going to haul in. Also, you have a flag on the play as well. What else is new? Del Rio is certain it's on the Cowboys.
To the pass. Illegal contact. Defense. Number 33. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Rougier with the penalty and a first down.
This time Marshawn Lynch did not see Sean Lee coming on a blitz. Went right by him, and it was Lee who got the pressure on Carr. Still able to get it off, and obviously that was big too. A little sluggo, as they call it, slant and go.
Sets up a first down and goal at the 8-yard line. 8th play of the drive coming up. This one began at their own 47 after a good run back by Patterson. Set him up near midfield. The fake and then the pass, and that is incomplete. Intended there for Crabtree, covered by Brown. Second down and goal.
And I don't know what's happening here with Derek Carr. I don't think he can get the plays in his headset, so he ran all the way over to Todd Downing to get that call. And every time, though, that it's an obvious man-to-man coverage situation, whoever it is that's guarding Crabtree, they're just throwing it up in the air. And this time it's going to be Anthony Brown over there, and I think they're going to have it again if they want it.
Top of the screen. So they put him on the ground to give it to Lynch. And Lynch fights his way inside the 2-yard line, where it'll be third down and goal for the Raiders. Oh boy. Helmet off.
It's always like that with Marshawn Lynch. But that time he got some help from the Cowboys. The Cowboys jumped on the pile from behind and pushed everything forward. Watch at the end of this run. You'll see Lynch coming right through there and get stuck. And then the Cowboys start coming from this way. And as they jump on, the whole pile moves towards the goal line.
Sure. You had Lawrence first, then you had Jones. Frazier tries to pull him back, but the other guys come in and push him an extra yard or so. Third down and goal. Tight formation. Clark throws, and that is Crabtree. Touchdown.
That's a great route, Al. That's a great route. Watch all the things Crabtree does. Goes in motion, goes up like it's going to be a fade in the corner, even turns his head back to look over the inside, and then pushes and breaks to the out. So he had the young quarterback out there, Awuzie. Watch him look back like that, and that made Awuzie look up and gave just enough room for Crabtree to sneak into the corner of the end zone.
2 touchdowns for Crabtree tonight, both from 2 yards out, 7 catches on the night. Tavecchio with the extra point, and with 10 and a half to play in the fourth. 17-17 in Oakland. Sunday Night Football brought to you by The Commuter, starring Liam Neeson, in theaters January the 12th. By Verizon, best gifts on the best network. By Bud Light, brewed to be enjoyed responsibly, and by the 2018 Kia Sorento. Learn more at Kia.com. 2-engine crews from the Alameda Fire Department nearby dispatched to help fight the wildfires in Southern California. Guys around the state just doing marvelous work under insanely tough circumstances. And we start with a touchback here. You know, you were talking about Jack Del Rio with him the other day, and sometimes coaches are very circumspect, but talking about the culture and the culture change here in Oakland, he was very open about it.
Yeah, he was. He basically said the most important thing I felt like I had to do when we got to Oakland was to change that culture. And it was so much so he actually asked some of the old-time Raiders to not criticize what they were doing. They're trying to create some positive energy. And he said for whatever reason this season, we've gone backwards. We have not taken that next step forward with that. And so he was looking to change the culture again.
Especially after a big step last year. Now Brian, and that doesn't fool anybody. Carl Joseph comes up from his safety spot to take him out of bounds after a loss of 4. It'll be second down and 14.
Yeah, that's a nice read by Carl Joseph on the back end. Here's a young man that is becoming a much more veteran football player. So much of that safety position is, I've seen that before. Those guys, they've seen those plays before, and the more you see them, the more times you've been tricked by them, the better you are the next time.
Crowd roaring on a second down and 14. Prescott, flag, and for what it's worth, comes up about 2 yards shy of the first down, but Team's territory will move them back.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
Well, with Tyron Smith out of the game, that's Byron Bell taking his spot.
One of the unsung heroes for this Raiders bunch has really come on. Danico Autry, and he draws the foul there out of Bell. But this Autry has become the third player, and they needed another one. Bruce Irvin has been red hot. Khalil Mack, tremendous. But it has been the improved play of Danico Autry under John Pagano that has really picked up this defense.
So Smith's still on the sideline. We're looking at his knee. Bell in the game. Rod Smith is the back. Fake the end around. And Smith takes it up to the 16-yard line. 3rd and a mile. Here's Michelle.
Yeah, well, Tyron Smith is questionable with a right knee sprain, and they removed the right brace, the knee brace that he's been wearing on that right leg. You can see it there. He's been playing with it much of the season and even into last season. They removed it after he came out of the tent, the injury tent. He's still without it, and they really are making no effort to get him ready to play out.
Yeah, that's if they don't put that brace on. That speaks volumes. 3rd down and 18 from the 17-yard line.
But now they have Jason Witten on that side to help against Irvin. They're not going to leave Bell one-on-one.
4-man rush. Fires, and that is caught, but short of the first down as Cole Beasley hauls it in. But they needed 18 and wind up with 16.
There you go right there. You see Jason Witten right across. He's going to get a shot and then a double team. So Cowboys paying attention, but not enough. Once again, for the second time, we see a completion, but a completion short of the first down marker.
Beasley's first catch of the night. Now Chris Jones to send that into the night sky. Angle kick, and that will go out of bounds, and with a flag back down at the 30-yard line near the line of scrimmage. It would be a first down
4th and
if 3
against the Raiders.
It would be. Six penalties on Dallas tonight, 11 on Oakland.
During the kick, holding, return team number 91. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Oakland. Timeout.
That moves them back to the 22. Game locked up at 17. It's being billed as Premier League festive fixtures. They have arrived. 40 matches over 14 days begin with a showdown between Arsenal and Liverpool. Friday, 2:45 Eastern on NBCSN. Lake Merritt, Oakland. Good ball game. 8:07 left in regulation. And the Raiders begin this drive from the 15-yard line. Carr tonight, almost everything short. He's averaging less than 5 yards per pass. And he's almost going to get sacked, but he gets this one away to Lynch. And Taco Charlton coming in. Lynch in the break. Mike Tice is with him. DeAndre Washington as well.
It's the only time he stopped dancing the whole time we've been watching him. And he goes right back to dancing. And he wants everybody to have fun. I mean, he's out there in the huddle and he's talking to Derek Carr. He wants everybody to be loose, have fun. He wants this crowd to have fun. Remember the dance earlier this season?
That was week 2. Things look great for this team. He fights for it for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Oh, and here is one of the really great running backs in the history of the league. LaShawn McCoy, we'll see how many missed tackles he has. And we know what Adrian Peterson is, and those are great numbers for those two. Look how many more forced missed tackles Marshawn Lynch has had since 2007, and puts in perspective what this guy has been able to do and why they call him beast mode over the years.
Just always think back to that playoff game against New Orleans, that incredible run, which registered on the Richter scale. The way the crowd responded. Now you got a drop here at the 32-yard line. by Jared Cook, so they can't convert, and it's 4th down. Byron Jones covering for Dallas.
That was a big one. Byron Jones with a nice play, but it looked like Cook had a chance. In the hands, out of the hands before Jones really a factor on that one. It's the only time he quit dancing.
Yeah. Marquette King now to punt his 4th of the night. And Switzer is back there. Booming kick. Switzer fields at the 22-yard line. Can he get around the corner? No, he cannot. And that's where they'll take it. 57-yard punt, 8-yard run back. Reminder, Christmas is next Monday, a week from tomorrow. You'll see Pittsburgh against Houston, 4 o'clock right here on NBC. There are the receivers tonight, the wideouts. Beasley and Bryan have each caught 1, and Williams has caught 3, all in the first quarter. Dallas goes to work from the 30-yard line. All 3 receivers set to the left, and the pass is too high. Intended for Bryant. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 6.5 to go in the 4th.
You're going to have to keep an eye on Byron Bell here, working against Bruce Irvin on the outside, and this is getting close on almost every snap that he's left one-on-one. Whether that's a hold, not called. Big loss when Tyron Smith not in the game.
They found that out in spades back in the Atlanta game.
That incompletion on 1st down allows them to keep 2 deep safeties now.
And they'll try the ground, and that won't work as Alfred Morris, got a big first quarter and a half, has been silent since then. Mack makes the stop. 3rd down and 10.
This is Khalil Mack playing the run. You're going to see coming across the formation here, Jason Witten's going to try and influence him by running outside. Mack just wasn't influenced. Now 3rd down, and they go spread. So you have to keep your eye now on Byron Bell and Bruce Irvin.
You got Bryan in the slot. You got Beasley outside, along with Williams. And they go to the other side, and that is Witten. And Witten tries to pound his way to the 1st down. Joseph makes the tackle. You can see they have to get right to the 40-yard line, and they're going to spot it right there. You got Bowman saying no, Witten saying yes, and it is a 1st down. Those aren't the official sticks on that side. They are on this side. So they're going to call it a 1st down. Yes. Now Del Rio is going to.
Yeah, that's way too generous.
It's right in front of him. You can see it. He's got the official sticks on his side. He's watching the replay and he's saying, "Come on," to Gene Steratore.
Gene's making him laugh.
Yeah. He said, "Why do we have to challenge this?" He says, "You can see it."
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field as it relates to a 1st down.
So it's either a 1st down or it's going to be a 4th down.
I think it's a yard short. Let's see where the knee goes down here.
There it is. So he's going to be about a half a yard short from that angle. There he is.
Down, and basically they're marking it at the line up there.
Again, those are the unofficial sticks on the far side, but still the 40-yard line is the spot. And we'll go out on a limb, not very far, and say it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, it's been on high wires and limbs and all kinds of things tonight.
We have been.
Let's see, where was he? All the way on the ground there. For sure short of the line. Just a matter of how short you want to put it. I'll tell you what, though, the Dallas Cowboys, one of the best teams in football in short yardage situations. You have Ezekiel Elliott in there, you probably go for it. Do you have the guts to try it here if you're Jason Garrett?
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The football will be placed just beyond the 39-yard line. It will be Dallas's ball, 4th and less than a yard for a first down. Oakland is not charged with the timeout, and they still have 2 potential challenges remaining.
All right, so for the moment, Oakland wins the challenge. Dallas sends its offense out there.
Watch Travis Frederick, watch Zach Martin, the center and the right guard. So many game-deciding plays go right behind those guys.
Will they really snap it? Or just try to get Oakland to jump offside? Yeah, he's going to keep it himself. Boy, that was really odd. You almost never see that. Empty backfield. You got Prescott. And when they unpile, Oakland still thinks they've stopped them.
You know, I'm not sure he had it initially, and then he sort of pulled his way back out and extended the ball again.
This may be another thing that they'll take another look at here, but we have to wait for them, obviously, to unpile. Here it is.
So watch, he gets stuffed, and then he reloads and extends the ball. Going to come back and then try and extend it again, sort of right into the lap of Nicholas Morrow.
He's on top of his guys, so he's not down. And, the stripe is the landmark there because that is the 40-yard line. And they're going to spot it right with the nose of the ball on the 40, and then they're going to measure.
I think it was that second push. Uh-oh.
Look at this. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
A link short.
Oh, my goodness. I have never seen this.
I haven't either.
Never seen this.
Well, Gene's looking at it from above.
Because you have to raise that to a 90-degree angle, right? It has to be dead vertical.
Look at this. Can he put a card in between it?
Look at Gene. He can barely contain himself. He's saying that piece of paper hit. Oh my! I have never seen that before.
Ever. I don't think I've ever seen an empty backfield in this situation.
So now we have a new, and that's a double fold over card. So somebody's going to say, if you have an index card, all right, but you can't fold it over.
Well, here we are across the bay from Silicon Valley, the high-tech capital of the world, and you got an index card that determines whether it's a first down or a fourth down.
And see what Jason's saying? He's saying that first down marker wasn't held up straight. You got it leaning out. Bring it back in. Oh, my goodness. I have never seen that.
From the 40-yard line. Prescott under pressure. That is Keith Smith, the fullback. That'll be a 12-yard gain. He's tackled by Bruce Irvin. First down.
Well, I tell you have to give Jason Garrett some credit, don't you? I mean, that's a couple of really gutsy calls. The fake punt way back on 4th down and 11, and then going for it there on your own 40. Basically, you're almost putting points on the board for the Raiders. You don't punt there, but he knows what this game means, and he's playing to win.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. Morris. A tough 2 yards. He's second down at the 46-yard line.
And Al, that decision's so important here because even if they don't get the first down or don't get points, they're going to be able to punt it down and really pin the Raiders back and force some very tough decisions out of Jack Del Rio about how aggressive they're going to be coming out of their own end.
Second down and 8. Prescott deep down the right sideline, and it is Bryant making the catch. Sean Smith with great coverage, but Dez won the battle and sets up a first down and goal.
Well, and for Sean Smith, he ends up facing the wrong way. He is going to end up facing Dez Bryant, and you can't make a play like that. You can't jump and make a play on the ball, and so Dez able to hold him off just long enough. And boy, we haven't seen many deep shots out of the Cowboys all season long, but when they do, they make them pay. A very good quarterback rating throwing deep. They just don't do it 8% of the time, which is fewest in the NFL.
First and goal. On the ground to the 1.5 goes Morris. All season long, Dez Bryant in his career, a big play guy. This season, to this point, he had caught only one pass more than 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. That was his second right there, second and goal. And we take the 2-minute warning. The 2-minute warning, and a great one in Oakland. 17-17 on Sunday Night Football. Volkswagen post-game report. After the game, a show on the field, as usual, with the star of the game. Mike will break down the playoff picture up to the moment, and a look ahead to Saturday night's game, the Vikings and the Packers from Lambeau Field. Meanwhile, this one tied at 17. It's second down and goal just inside the 2-yard line. And for the first time tonight, they come up in the pistol formation. And Prescott hands the ball off to Morris, who is...
The Raiders have to take a timeout here, don't they?
You would think going to come up a little bit shy.
First choice timeout.
They have to take a timeout,
Oakland.
which they do.
It will be a 30-second timeout.
So, let me ask you this. High tech is now dead, is it not? Because...
Yes. Well, I mean, that first down came down to a folded piece of paper, right?
Sure.
I mean, Gene had a folded piece of paper, so you're going to have a little. So he does that, and it touches both sides, says first down. Now, if he had a single index card or something straight, and then they had to worry about was the first down marker leaning one way or another, but I've never seen a folded piece of paper decide anything. Now, he was squeezing it together. I don't want to make too big a deal, but Jack has got to be thinking, a folded piece of paper?
Say what?
So we have creative officiating. I love it.
Never seen it.
Love it. Every week, we do this for 100 years, and every week we see something we've never seen before.
First time. Meanwhile, you've got Morris. They put a fullback in the backfield. Smith is third down and goal. Give it to Morris, and he tries to angle his way in. No sign yet. No sign yet. You stop him at the 4-inch line.
Basically, Morris got
the
sort
ruling
of
on the field
stuck.
is the runner is short of the goal line. Fourth down, Dallas. Oakland has called their second timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Watch Keith Smith, the fullback, as he's going in there, and basically Morris ran into him and sort of got twisted sideways. Watch him turn sideways, and the ball turned away from the goal line, and the Raiders were able to get there.
All right, so now if you're Garrett,
oh, you have to kick this.
You would think, but remember too, Dan Bailey was hit by his own man on a run back. This was earlier, so watch this. There's Bailey on the ground, and you got Damian Wilson's knee into the back of his head. They took him into the medical tent. Obviously, they have cleared him, and he comes in to kick a tie-breaking field goal here. When Oakland gets the ball back, they have the one timeout. As Jerry Jones looks on, a 19-yard field goal attempt here to try to make it 20-17. Which he does. So it's a 3-point game with 1 minute and 44 seconds remaining.
You know, Al, this happened to them earlier in the year, and Jeff Heath had to come in, and he kicked 2 out of 3 extra points, and it didn't come to that this time. But for Jack Del Rio, he's pumped. You know, we talk about the culture. They've changed defensive coordinators, and there they were with a goal line stand. Had to have it, goal line stand. And now the Raiders have a chance, plenty of time, to go back down the other way and at least tie it up.
And the Raiders rebounding from that abysmal performance last week at Kansas City. Some of the key plays here. This was the missed field goal right over the top of the upright by Tavecchio. You had the 100-yard kickoff return by Patterson, which was negated by a hold. You had the fake punt by Chris Jones. Off to the races he went. And that culminated with a touchdown on that drive. Then you had this, of course, which will live in infamy. Classic.
Ah, boy. Only on Sunday night. Steratore saves all his good stuff for Sunday night.
Absolutely. From the goal line. Patterson. Flag is down.
Uh-oh. 15 yards. Valuable here. You do not want to be that guy at this point in the game. Either way.
Nope. Justin Marks Lillard in the middle of it for the Cowboys. Steratore has been wearing out the mic tonight. And the Raiders are moving back.
Holding 47 return team. 10-yard penalty. First down, Oakland.
James Cowser. So that will move them back. We have 1 minute and 38 seconds. And one timeout.
That Cordero Patterson's exciting to watch return kicks, isn't he? Only guy in league history, other than Gale Sayers, to average over 30 yards per kickoff return. And actually, Cordero has many, many, many more returns than did Gale Sayers.
More returns than Sayers. Also, when he runs with the ball, he's averaging over 10 yards per carry in his career. Came over from the Vikings. Patterson in this alignment right now. It's Carr throws, and that's knocked away. Intended for Roberts, and that was Anthony Brown with the coverage. So it's 2nd down and 10 with 1:34 left.
Nice looking play there. Anthony Brown has to be the second slot when they go into the dime coverage. Of course, they have Woods when there's just nickel, but when they go dime, he's the second slot without Orlando Scandrick. Comes up big there. And now the pressure really on Marshall Newhouse to try and keep that left side protected.
2nd and 10. Over the middle, and that is caught up at the 30-yard line. That is Seth Roberts. Clock under 1.5 minutes right now. First down up at the 30.
Good throw by Derek Carr, back shoulder when he knew his guy was in trouble.
Gain of 19 yards. Flushed out, throws, and that's Crabtree along the sideline, no good. Rougier with the coverage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 70 seconds left.
Best pass rusher on the outside, DeMarcus Lawrence, and basically they have flipped him over to that side. A little stunt, a game, and that's what flushed Derek Carr out. You know, so many times that these guys, that the pass rushers work together, and it's like a quarterback and wide receiver. Those stunts have to be so tight, so we'll keep an eye on Tyrone Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence over there on that side.
4-man rush. Fires and misfires. Crabtree was there just shy of the 40-yard line, so now it's 3rd and 10. Took 5 seconds off the clock, 1:05 remaining.
Well, Crabtree's going to go in, and I think Derek Carr thought he was going to do that as he pushed into Sean Lee, and instead he came straight back, and that's why the miscommunication. So many times when that defender is inside, you work on working away from him, and that's what Carr thought he was going to get.
Downey calling in the play. 3rd and 10. A little stunt up. Oh, look out, almost picked off. Anthony Brown covering Roberts on the play. 4th down. In effect, last gasp for Oakland.
Ooh. Jack Del Rio's not even sure what Derek Carr saw, to be honest with you. Anthony Brown all over that one. And how can they be that aggressive? Because they have 2 deep safeties behind them. The underneath coverage doesn't care. We're not pressure, just the front 4. 2 deep safeties in the middle of the field, so that underneath coverage can be really bold, and that's what you're seeing. There are the safeties back.
And the Raiders stay alive. Need 10 on a 4th down here. Carr flushed out again. Signals deep downfield, and it is a flag for interference here because Jordan Lewis was all over Crabtree. Pretty easy one to call, and on 4th and 10, they get the call.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. Spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
Well, first the escape, but this is brilliance on the part of Derek Carr. He knew what he had, a veteran wide receiver against a rookie cornerback, and you take your chances. I'm not even sure that Crabtree was really trying to catch that, as much as he knew if he worked his way back through Jordan Lewis, he would get the call. Just inexperience on the part of Lewis and great experience on the part of Crabtree.
And when's the last time you saw a 55-yard penalty? That's what it amounts to. From the 15 with 51 seconds. Carr under pressure, fires, and that will be Cordero Patterson at the 11-yard line. Stops the clock. 44 ticks.
Somewhere up in the press box, they're screaming down to the play caller here, Todd Downing, telling him to run that again because Jared Cook had one-on-one coverage and was popping wide open across the field. Going to be working against Hitchens. There you go. That was going to be a walk-in touchdown if that one was thrown.
2nd down and 3 from the 8.
Now they go back to zones.
Carr from the pocket throws, and that's knocked away in the end zone. Jeff Heath, the safety, comes over. Intended for Crabtree. That 55-yard penalty, the longest penalty call in the NFL this season. 3rd and 3. And Hitchens is down on the grass.
Well, there's Crabtree making an adjustment there, and Jeff Heath.
Time out of the half due to an injury by one of their players under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
Dallas and Oakland both have 1 timeout remaining in regulation.
The Cowboys are compelled. I mean, they have no choice. That's the rule. They have to take that timeout because of the injury in the last 2 minutes. So they would have 1. Oakland has 1. And Hitchens comes off. So meanwhile, if Brown holds on here at the start of this drive, this game could have ended at that moment.
Missed opportunities so many times, the story of National Football League games. And for the Dallas Cowboys, taking that time off, that timeout, they end up coming up big later. And one of the only things I worry about with that rule is some players know it, right? They know there's going to cost them a timeout.
Sure.
And sometimes you'll see players go over and try and pick up an injured player so that they don't get that timeout burn. And if the player happens to be in real jeopardy, that's the worst thing you can do. So it almost, if they're going to have that rule, you almost have to teach the referees, hey, get around that guy. Don't let any player touch him, because certainly we've seen enough of that this year. I don't need to go into it.
Yep. 3rd down and 3 now from the 8-yard line. 39 seconds remaining. They go 3 by 1.
Hey, we're good.
Holton in the game. Johnny Holton, a wide out. Lynch in the backfield. And Carr under pressure, avoids the sack, And he's going to try to run it in.
Oh, did he lose the ball?
Yeah, did he lose the ball? Does it go out of the end zone? Does he lose the ball? The Cowboys are signaling for a touchback.
This could be a touchback.
It very well could be. We've seen this before.
I think it is.
Jeff Heath created
the ruling
it.
on the field is that the runner fumbled forward through the end zone and out of the end zone.
Touchback.
The ruling on the field is a touchback. First down, Dallas.
Yep. Can you believe that? But that is the rule as he fumbles out of the end zone.
Stretching. Nothing goes out of bounds. Ball's out of his hands inside the pylon. Oh, my goodness.
Easy one to call. That is the rule. Seen this a couple of times this year before. And of all things, the Dallas Cowboys get the biggest break of the night. That close to an Oakland touchdown, and instead the Cowboys can run the clock out.
Well, let's give some credit to Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath, the safety, hustled over there, had the speed to make that play, and I'll tell you honestly, I never thought Jeff Heath was that fast a player. I went back and looked it up. He ran a 4.48, and his speed made that play. He was able to beat Derek Carr and get that hit on him as he was stretching, and the ball comes free. Oh my, I mean, in a microcosm, that's the Raiders season. And for Jeff Heath, what a play.
What a play, and he knew the rule too. He's the first guy to signal touchback. Of course, they review it because it's a turnover, but can't see how this one gets overturned. It was 3rd down and 3. He'd gained 7 yards to the 1. Had he held on, it would have been a 1st and goal, but right now all the Raiders can do is wish and hope and all of that, but none of these dreams are going to come true.
And for Derek Carr, who admitted to us that there have been times that he could not sleep on Sunday night because of close losses and interceptions and things that had gone wrong during games this year.
He'll be watching the sun come up tomorrow.
Yeah. It is basically season over for the Raiders right now, and season moving on for the Dallas Cowboys.
Again, the Raiders would not be mathematically eliminated, but it would take a series of about 96 things to happen to get to the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Cowboys will watch the Monday night game tomorrow and root like crazy for it.
After review,
Tampa.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchback. There is also unsportsmanlike conduct. Oakland 24. The result of the play is a touchback after the 15-yard foul against number 24 Oakland. It will be Dallas's ball, 1st and 10 from the Oakland 25 or 35-yard line.
Foul is on Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. Confirmed is the right call. It's absolutely. And there's Lynch afterwards. And that's a good call.
Well, they get him away before he made contact.
And it's amazing, isn't it? This game basically came down to a piece of paper that was folded over and a 1st down, because otherwise it's the Raiders' ball on the 40-yard line, and there are a lot more scenarios for the Raiders to win than the Cowboys.
Well, this was the site of the Heidi game. Now it's the site of the index card game.
Holy Roller, there have been a few here.
Well, the Holy Roller was down in San Diego. But the Raiders have been involved in a few. A Sea of Hands.
Sea of Hands
was another game that was played in this ballpark.
What a game.
Jason Garrett.
The former Cowboy himself.
Jack Del Rio, a former Cowboy. He was there when Jerry Jones bought the team, and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith were there, beginning their careers.
Zach Martin came over, gave Jason Garrett a little shot to the chest. A lot of gutsy calls from Garrett.
Coming up next, the Volkswagen post-game report.